What's going on, everybody? It's Donnie at PG Hat Company. I know it's been a little bit since I've done a video, but I just wanted to show you guys something little out of the ordinary, um, because we always find a way, is what we tell people. So one of the questions that we get, especially with having a retail store, is do you do embroidery? No, we don't. We get asked so many times each week, and I just don't want to. So the people that don't do embroidery always ask why we don't do embroidery. You never hear from the people that do embroidery that say, why don't you do embroidery? Because it is more involved than someone that has no experience really knows. They think that you can just push a button and the machine does all the work, which is not the case. You know, it kind of is, but it's not. So if you're an embroiderer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Mad respect to you guys, because we know everything that goes into it with the digitizing and the setting up and all the threads and the breaking and everything else. So that's why we don't do embroidery. I just don't want to. But we had a customer come in. They saw our military hats that we've got out in the store, and he wanted a visor that said Marines. And he's like, do you do embroidery? It's like, no, but I got you. So I explained kind of the process of what we do on some of our products. You've probably seen some of our double layered leather that we do on our Instagram page, and it gives a nice 3D raised effect, and it is a way that we can get around embroidery to an extent. But anyway, I was super happy with how this turned out, so that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. And it's really just like a reminder to um, be creative with stuff and don't just tell people no or push them off to the next person, give them a suggestion. Just be creative, and if you can find a way, and if you're smart enough and creative enough, you can always figure it out. So back real quick backstory, one of the reasons that I don't want to get into embroidery is it's a very expensive startup. I mean, we've got tons of equipment here, lots of high dollar uh, pieces of equipment that we get our job done with. But just to put it into perspective, you need a multi-head embroidery machine to really be successful on the outside of just a hobbyist. So the single head machine that we had priced out, it's the same machine that like Lids in the mall uses. It's Tajima. It's like $27,000 for a single head machine. And if you really want to um, be able to offer embroidery, most people are gonna, they don't just want one. That's why there's lots of minimums for embroidery jobs, like 12, 24, whatever it is. That way you can load up 10 hats on a 10 head machine, 14 hats, 24, whatever it is, and you can just let them all run. At the same time, you know, all the fancy videos you see with all the embroidery machines lined up with the hats all going back and forth and all that stuff. But so yeah, one single head machine, $27,000. So think about if you want a 10 head machine, 14 head, you do the math. But anyway, here's a visor. Marine came in, didn't want a hat, wanted a visor, something custom made. So I'll show this to you guys. I'll flip around and kind of explain what we did. All right, so here is the finished product. Originally, I was gonna just have each individual letter and sew each one of them on with our Jack sewing machine. I didn't really like the way that it was looking, so what I did is it's a 2-layer process. So on the bottom, that's our black leather that we use. We get all of our leather from Weaver Leather. We've worked with them for years. So yeah, it's got a black base on it, and we didn't have any leatherette or anything like that. We typically stay away from leatherette, but every once in a while you can find one that's the color that you need. So this is our twill fabric that we printed on. He wanted it the typical traditional kind of gold yellowy color that the Marines logo is in, and lots of other military logos, that classic yellow. But so yeah, so we printed with our sublimation printer onto our white twill fabric, and then we cut that out, and we did a little stack job on that. So we used, you can see our black thread for the base and the gold thread that we ran through the letters there. I thought that it really turned out pretty sharp. Again, that's why I wanted to share it with you guys, just to say, hey, find a way to make things work sometimes. And originally I was just going to go, since it's getting stitched on, I was just going to stitch on top of the yellow, and I wasn't going to worry about the black, but I thought that it added, you know, a nice, just more of a premium look with the black stitching and the yellow stitching. And he also wanted Simplify on the back, so we just printed Simplify on the back, and then, or we printed onto the fabric, and then we attached that to our black leather and stitched it on for a nice piece on the back. So that's it. Looks pretty good. Use the, as you saw in the video, the close-up Richardson visors, and turned out really nice. So don't ever let somebody leave your store, or you know, if they email you, if you don't have a storefront and they ask certain things, maybe try and figure out something that you've never done before. That is the fun part about doing what we do, is you don't have to have a $27,000 machine sometimes to get a really nice finished product. At the end of the day, it's just about making the customer happy, and they don't know all the different processes or different things, you know, different options that are out there for the end result. They just see what they see in Walmart or online or whatever that is. So I don't ever want to do embroidery. Props to the ones that do. And got some more videos coming up soon. See you later.